Welcome to another episode of Bengals Breakdown, where we dive deep into everything orange and black. I'm your host, and today we've got a story that'll fire up every Bengals fan. But before we dive into that, take a second right now, subscribe to the channel, drop a like, and smash that bell icon so you never miss a single update on your Cincinnati Bengals. All right, let's get into the new headline. The Bengals pulled off what can only be described as a draft day steal. No exaggeration. Sixth-round running back Taj Brooks might just be one of the sneakiest value picks of the entire draft. Cincinnati didn't have many picks to work with, but they made every single one count, and this one could be their best. Brooks is a bruising, relentless runner with top-tier vision, and many scouts had him pegged as a third or fourth rounder. But in a deep running back class, he fell, and the Bengals were smart enough to capitalize. Let's be real. Even with Zach Moss returning and Samaje Perine coming back to help carry the load with Chase Brown, the backfield needed depth. Cincinnati addressed it perfectly with their final pick, no less. Whether it's a short yardage hammer or a long-term rotation guy, Brooks has the tools to carve out a real role. That's the kind of move that could quietly shape the offense for years. But I want to hear from you, the fans. How do you grade this pick? Drop your grade in the comments below. A, B, C, D, or F. How'd the Bengals do with Taj Brooks? This is a guy who's logged serious snaps, 5 full seasons at Texas Tech, and what stands out is how he grew each year. No flash, no fuss, just straight up development. That's exactly what this Bengals roster needed. Maturity, consistency, and a player who knows how to grind. Cincinnati's front office made it clear with this draft. They weren't looking for risky personalities. They wanted high character guys who could come in, earn respect, and set the tone. Taj Brooks. He checks that box without question. When he spoke during rookie minicamp, he didn't sound like a late round pick. He sounded like a pro. Humble, focused, and visibly grateful for the opportunity. You could feel it. He's not just happy to be here, he's here to make a mark. Watching him on the practice field confirmed it. He's a powerful, physical runner, the kind of back that brings a different dimension to this offense. Whether he's shouldering early reps or growing into a bigger role over time, Brooks has the tools and the temperament to be a difference maker. Now, how quickly he climbs the depth chart remains to be seen. There's veteran presence in the room, there's Chase Brown. But if you're thinking long-term, by 2026, don't be surprised if Brooks is a key figure in that backfield. And let's be honest, the Bengals didn't just draft a depth piece, they drafted a future contributor. Let's shift focus to something that really speaks to Taj Brooks' mentality, something that should fire up every Bengals fan. Just a few days after rookie minicamp, a quote surfaced from Taj Brooks that tells you everything you need to know about what kind of player the Bengals just added. He said, "Nobody touches my quarterback." That's the mindset. That's the standard in Cincinnati. You don't just run the football here, you protect Joe Burrow at all costs. This team might be pass first, but every back in that locker room knows, if you can't block, you won't see the field. Brooks already gets it. He's not just preparing to carry the ball, he's preparing to protect the franchise. And that attitude, it fits perfectly with what the Bengals did across the board this offseason, adding guys like Dylan Fairchild, who bring that same grit and protection-first mindset in the trenches. The message is clear. If you're coming to Cincinnati, you're protecting number 9. Now let's talk about fit. Chase Brown is still the top back. No question. But Taj Brooks, if he keeps trending the way he is, he's the future RB2, and possibly sooner than expected. With veterans like Zach Moss and Samaje Perine likely on short-term stints, the Bengals have lined it up beautifully. Brooks can grow into that role and maybe even challenge sooner than 2026 if his preseason and early reps go well. Look at the transformation. Heading into the offseason, this running back room had real questions. Now, it's shaping up as a quiet strength, reliable, deep, and physical. And let's not overlook the value here. Brooks was taken in the 6th round, after a long list of backs had already come off the board. Yet, the Bengals might have found one of the smartest pickups of the draft. Not a round two guy, no, but he brings every intangible a coach wants, and that's worth more than raw combine numbers. So let's hear it. Do you believe Taj Brooks can become the Bengals' long term RB2? Type Y for yes or N for no in the comments. Let's talk value, real value, and why Taj Brooks might be one of the biggest steals of this entire draft. Take a look at the names that came off the board in the fourth round alone. Basil Tootin, Cam Skattebo, Trevor Etienne, and Woody Marks from USC. Good players, sure, but you can't convince anyone who watches the tape that every one of them deserved to go ahead of Taj Brooks. And it didn't stop there. The fifth and even sixth rounds were full of backs who heard their names before Brooks: Jarquez Hunter, Dylan Sampson, DJ Giddens, Ali Gordon II, Devin Neal. The list goes on. Many of them are talented, but none are guaranteed to bring more to a roster than what Brooks already shows on film and in attitude. Truth is, Cincinnati got serious value in round 6. Credit where credit is due, Duke Tobin and Zach Taylor played this perfectly. They didn't reach. They waited. And when the board gave them a gift, they didn't hesitate. Now the next chapter belongs to Taj Brooks, and to the man responsible for coaching him up, Justin Hill. You don't hear his name thrown around a lot, but Bengals fans should know it. Hill moved from the college game to the NFL in 2021 and has quietly become one of the more effective position coaches on this staff. Under Hill, Joe Mixon thrived. Under Hill, Chase Brown broke out and became one of the league's most underrated backs. That's no accident. And now, Brooks becomes his next project. There's reason to believe that this running back room, once considered thin, could evolve into one of the more balanced, dynamic groups in the league if Hill can continue his track record of maximizing talent. And if that happens, pair that with Joe Burrow and this receiving core, and the Bengals' offense could be dangerously complete.